And now a foul on Algona as Helmers makes it 2-0 Bulldogs. Algona trying to put a little full court press on here early in the ball game. And the foul will go against Alex Mansky, his first of the afternoon. Iowa Falls-Alden 9-9 on the season as they were throttled last night by Clear Lake, losing 79-35, trying to bounce back today. As handling the basketball will be Bickney's, bringing it into the front court. Bickney's flipping it over to the right to the senior Case and Boyer. Cadets have a balanced starting lineup, but one change in their normal starting lineup, as we'll get to that in just a second. Right now, driving in Bickney's, backing his way in, working against Weber, pivoting away from Weber, and he puts it off the window for two. Patient move, just pivoting around Weber, and that'll walk up the game at 2 apiece. Jaden Damiano, who started the first game between these two teams, a junior who is averaging over 10 points per game this season, is in a walking boot this afternoon, so he is replaced by Nick Regan. Mansky misses the one-hander, it heads out of bounds, and it'll go back to Iowa Falls-Alden. So a little bit of a different lineup than the last 2 times these teams met. And the most recent matchup coming less than 10 days ago, a 67-64 Iowa Falls-Alden win over in Iowa Falls, as it'll be Weaver. Weaver dishing it into the corner as he finds Regan. Around the perimeter, Bickney's. Bickney's has been their leading scorer this year at just over 12.5 points per game, as now Weaver has the top of the key. Down low, Regan now out quickly to Hutchinson. Lets it fly for a triple. Swirls out, rebound off of Fike's hands, but it pops into Welp as Welp kept it away from Weaver. Up the court, Weber finding the cutting Welp in the lane, had it stripped, got it back, blocked, but a foul. First foul of the game against Iowa Falls-Alden, and Welp will be heading to the free throw line for 2 shots. They'll get that on Bickney's.
Called on Andrew Bickney's, his first.
Welp averaging about 5.5 points per game this season. Shooting just under 72.5% from the charity stripe. As he'll set up for 2 with 5:46 on the clock, quarter number 1. And that shot is rattled in by Landon Welp. Bulldogs' last matchup against Iowa Falls-Alden came back very end of January. It was Friday, January 27th. Bulldogs had a very cold 3-point shooting night that evening, just 4 of 17 on triples, while Iowa Falls-Alden was 6 of 12 in that game. 2 good free throws by Welp, and Bulldogs are up 4-2. Bickney's will bring it into the front court against Weber. And he brings it across the timeline safely with 5:37 on the clock. Bickney's starting to drive in, and he'll hand it off to Boyer. Boyer up to the top of the key to Weaver. Weaver directing traffic now to the right wing Boyer. Boyer wants to drive in, got by Welp. Bullets the pass across to Reagan. Back and forth between Reagan and Bickney's. Reagan lets it fly, and he drills it. Nick Regan makes it a 5-4 ball game. Iowa Falls-Alden on top. Regan is their best 3-point shooter at over 37% on the season. Had previously been coming off the bench, but has moved into the starting lineup. Fikes far side of the court, comes top of the key to Welp, now left to Weber. Bouncing it down to the baseline, Mansky. Cross-court find of Fike. Lets it rip. Missed the 3 off the front of the cup. And it's an early 0-3 by Simon Fike on 3-pointers, trying to get loose in this first quarter. Iowa Falls-Alden 5, Algona 4, 4:50 on the clock. Driving down the lane, getting blocked as Weaver. Mansky stayed right with him and swatted it. And the referees will confer here and see who it was off of. Mansky is down right in the middle of the 3 referees campaigning for his case. He is saying he blocked it off of Weaver. And all the Algona Bulldog players are starting to walk to the other end of the court. And it is Algona's basketball, so not just a good block by Mansky, but hit it directly off of Weaver, so that will be Bulldog basketball, 4:47 on the clock. Iowa Falls-Alden giving up about 61 points per game defensively this season. They're scoring just under 57, so about -3 in the point differential. Right wing Helmers lets it rip for 3, left it a little short, and sailing in for the rebound is Bickney's. Bickney's pivots in between 2 Bulldogs as Fike and Welp were trying to trap him, and now he runs the court. Bickney's outside Boyer, finds a spot on the elbow, rises for a jumper and buries it. Good shot by Case and Boyer, and he'll make it a 7-4 cadet lead. Now Helmers spins towards the lane. Helmers puts up the left-hander, bounces off, no good. Rebound is tapped off the glass, and that'll be a foul against Algona. That'll be their second with 4:12 on the clock, and Ben Helmers picks that up, trying to secure the rebound after his initial miss.
Second team foul.
And the Bulldogs will continue to play full court defense here against the Cadets as Fike will head to the bench. Tristan Larson coming in for Algona. Cadets up by 3 early in the ball game as Bicknese gets it into play to Hutchinson. Now up the court comes Boyer, far side. Boyer guarded by Larson. Boyer slicing in, sidearms the pass to Regan. In the near corner, lets it fly, and he airballed that one as Larson has the basketball. Larson outlets up to Weber, far side of the court. Weber turns for a 3, left it short. Rebound tipped up by Mansky. It pops out of the rim, no good. And the third opportunity in the fall by Helmers is up and in. Bulldogs, good early performance on the offensive glass. A couple times tonight where they've had 3 chances on offense already. That'll make it 7-6. Bicknese to Regan, now to Bicknese. Down in the near corner to our right. Bicknese across the lane, dribbling with the left. Rises for the jumper over Weber and missed it. Rebound is tapped to the far side, and Weaver made the nice tip. Finds Regan cutting in the lane. Regan turns, bangs it off the glass and scores. 9-6 Cadets. Good shot by Regan as now Helmers slices into the lane, goes up and under and puts it in. Another good move by Ben Helmers as he has an early 4 points. Actually make it an early 6 points as it's 9-8. Algona down by 1. Weaver at the foul line, turns it back out to Boyer. In the lane, hangs, puts it off the window and missed it. It rolls off to Alex Mansky, and here comes the Algona sophomore. Mansky charging into the front court, finds Weber inside. Weber missed at point blank range. Ball gets tipped all the way out of bounds to the far side. And I believe it was last touched by the Cadets, but they will confer once again. No, last touch by Algona, so Iowa Falls-Alden will get the basketball here with 2:55 on the clock. Well, it was a nice find by Mansky, but Weber just could not quite finish it. Weber is a right-hander, and he was trying to shoot that from the left side, but with his right hand, so a tough angle. And the Cadets have the basketball right now. Boyer heads left of the lane, charging in, putting it off the window and scoring. Boy, he did a great job getting right to the cup that time as the Bulldogs could not stop him off the dribble. Boyer with 4 points, and it's 11-8 in favor of Iowa Falls-Alden. Now Helmers slicing into the lane, rising for a jumper and rattling it in. That'll make it 11-10. 8 points right now for Helmers. Algona down by 1 of 2:24 on the clock. Iowa Falls-Alden on defense. They play more 2-3 zone than just about any team in the North Central as Hutchinson launches a 3. That's an air ball, knocked out of bounds off the hands of Regan and back to Algona. Bulldogs have certainly had their struggles this season when trying to contend with a 2-3 zone, but they saw a lot of 2-3 against Iowa Falls-Alden the first time these two teams matched up, and the Cadets have come out largely playing 2-3 to start tonight's game. But Bound Helmers has really taken it himself. He's found a good spot. He shot those quick jumpers from the lane, and he is leading Algona with 8 points right now. And we have a whistle into travel. Hutchinson shuffled the shoes and turns it over as the Bulldogs get it back. The sophomore Carter Debates off the bench for the first time for Iowa Falls-Alden. He's wearing number 50, sitting down in the bottom of that 2-3 zone right in the middle of the lane. As Helmers has it left wing. Around the perimeter go the Bulldogs to the far side to Larson. Hutchinson and Regan playing at the top of that 2-3 for the Cadets. They're moving actively. Now Weber, or make that Welp, finding Mansky in the lane. Mansky hooks it up the right hand, and it rolls around and pops off. Offensive rebound, Jack Limbaugh. He put it up, and he got fouled. Jack Limbaugh will head to the free throw line for 2 shots. Limbaugh's gotten some more early rotational minutes as of late for the Bulldogs. And this is a very physical lineup right now for Algona. When you have both Mansky and Limbaugh in there scrapping for the rebounds, it is going to be tough for the Cadets to get a lot of boards when those two are in there going after it. So Limbaugh will set up for 2 shots. The 6'4 sophomore has that one rattle out, and it will stay 11-10 in favor of Iowa Falls-Alden. Bulldogs have lost 3 of their last 4 meetings to Cadets. Lost the earlier one this season as the teams split their matchups last season. And Limbaugh airballs the second free throw. So 0 for 2 trip to the line, and the Cadets get it back with 1:48 on the clock. Iowa Falls-Alden 11 and Algona 10. This game was originally supposed to be played back on December 16th before Mother Nature had other ideas. As the Cadets have the basketball right now, it's Bicknese spinning left, working against Helmers, pumps, and the shot blocked out of bounds. Nice job, Helmers sticking on him defensively. He did not bite on that pump fake and was able to stay in front of Bicknese for the block. For someone who doesn't have overwhelming size, Helmers really picks up quite a few blocks on plays just like that as it's lobbed into the backcourt and taken by Boyer. Boyer, the 5'10 senior, passes it left. Regan now down to Bicknese. Underneath it's Boyer. Boyer rolls it to Debates, now back outside. It's Boyer letting it fly for a triple. Off the heel, no good, and here comes Landon Welp. Welp striding into the front court, sidestepping, putting it off the glass and missing. Limbaugh sails in for the follow, and Limbaugh puts it in. Almost a little Euro step move that time by Landon Welp. Just missed it as it sat on the rim for a second, but Limbaugh got down the court quickly. He was right there for the follow, and Algona has the 12-11 advantage right now. Debates just to the left of center, passes right to Bickney's on the wing. Debates screens, now rolls, gets the ball, puts it off the window and scores. Nicely drawn up offense by Iowa Falls-Alden. Good pass by Bickney's. Knew that Debates would be rolling to the bucket, and the Cadets are up 13-12. Larson on the perimeter right side, now top of the key to Welp. Back to the right, Larson lets it fly for a three, and he swishes it. Tristan Larson drills a three-pointer, and Algona goes up by 2, 15-13. And now a steal. Mansky jumps the pass, and the soft slam. 17-13 Algona. Mansky wanted to get up and flush that one, but had just enough to set it into the rim. So 4-point lead for Algona, their biggest early lead in this ballgame as Helmers tips a pass away. He took it away from Boyer. Up to Welp, off his fingertips. Mansky trying to save it, and he stepped out of bounds. Ball back to the Cadets. Bulldogs had a numbers advantage there in transition, but turned it over. A 15.6 seconds on the clock. Cadets will bring the senior Nathan Schmitz off the bench. Bickney's will get a breather of 15 seconds left in the quarter. Ben Helmers right now leading all scorers with 8 points. Algona up 17-13 over Iowa Falls-Alden. Last time these two teams matched up, Bulldogs got themselves in an early hole and couldn't dig out of it. So a better start tonight. Boyer left to center. Boyer at the foul line of 4 seconds with 3. Regan in the corner, lets it rip, missed off the front of the rim, and that'll bring an end to quarter number 1. Bulldogs with a late push. They take a 17-13 advantage into the second quarter on Hometown Radio, KLGA Algona.
More sports club members making these broadcasts possible on Hometown Home Country Radio.
Kasuth Regional Health Center. Make KRHC your home for healthcare.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country. Highway 18 West.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush always beats a full house.
Ruhnke Brothers Full Service. Experience the Ruhnke Brothers difference for all of your auto service and repair needs.
Erpelding and Boyd CPAs. They're not just about taxes.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprise. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
Hy-Vee. Use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
All sports club members bringing you this broadcast.
Start of the second quarter here on Hometown Radio KLGA as it's the Algona Bulldogs 17 and the Iowa Falls-Alden Cadets 13. Cadets will start the second period with the basketballs. Right now it's Ben Helmers leading Algona with 8 points. For Iowa Falls-Alden, Nick Regan leads the way with 5. And an immediate foul right out of the break. Evan Alley for Algona ran right into Nick Regan collecting that inbounds pass, and that'll be foul number 4 against the Bulldogs.
Foul called on Evan Alley.
First on Alley.
First, third
Actually make that foul number 3 against Algona. Schmitz gets the ball into play to Debates. Now down into the near corner to our right to Hutchinson. Hutchinson passes back up top to Schmitz, now left as Boyer has it. Top of the key Debates. They'll give him some space, so 7:47 on the clock. Left wing Boyer heads to the foul line. Curling around and getting the ball is Hutchinson. Now left to Schmitz. Schmitz back over to the right to Boyer. Boyer averaging about 9 points per game for the Cadets. Top of the key, it's Regan, that is. And now Boyer has it again. Up by the Bulldog logo, 7 on the shot clock. Boyer trying to shake Helmers. Boyer's heads right, stops, rises for a jumper, and he buries it. Bulldogs played good defense for most of that possession, but Boyer shook free in the last 5 seconds of the shot clock as Helmers launches a 3 on the other end and missed it. Alley sails in for the rebound, got stripped, picked the ball back up. He's trapped under the basket, and a foul on the Cadets. Defense has collapsed in on Evan Alley. Stayed with the play, though, and the foul will go against Boyer. That'll be his first. 17-15. Bulldogs leading the Cadets right now as Schmitz heads to the bench. Bickney's back in. And Larson from the baseline. Larson lobbing it into Mansky, catches at the foul line, comes over to Alley. Now far side of the court, it's Weber. Weber looking for Helmers. Helmers faces the bucket, using the pivot foot, putting it up, left it short, rebound got tapped away, and that is a foul on Helmers. Helmers kind of swung down onto the shoulder of Bickney's that time, trying to collect the rebound, and that'll be foul number 4 against Algona. Foul number 2 on Helmers. Last time these two teams matched up, Helmers had 18 points. That's actually not too bad of a defense effort by Iowa Falls-Alden. Helmers has been putting up a lot of 25-plus point games, especially here in the second half of the season. Alex Mansky was actually the leading scorer last time these two teams matched up, as there's a three-ball Hutchinson shot it long, and it's rebounded by Helmers. Mansky had 19 points and 16 boards against these cadets, as he has it left of center. Mansky slicing inside, dealing out to Weber. Weber cutting to the bucket, rising for a jumper, and he drills it. Caden Weber line drived it home, and it's 19-15 Algona. Weber coming off a very good game last night against St. Edmund, had 27 points, his second best total of the season, as he had 30 earlier against Forest City. And now Helmers jumps the pass. Here he comes, left of the bucket. He rises, puts it off the window, and scores it. 21-15 Algona, and Helmers has 10 points. Bulldogs have done that a couple of times this evening, jumping passes and then just having quick run-ups to the bucket. Hutchinson heading inside, and he shuffled the shoes. Hutchinson collected that ball and did not put it on the floor as he took a couple steps in the lane. Debates checking out. Weaver in for Iowa Falls-Alden. Cadets have a very balanced lineup. Damiano, like we said, is injured now tonight, but when he's in the lineup, the entire Iowa Falls-Alden starting lineup is averaging in between 7 points and 12.5 points per game. So anyone can score. You don't necessarily have one huge threat you can key in on. You have to account for all five. And Bulldogs have used some of that balance to a certain extent as well, as Ali launches a three, missed it, and Helmers had the rebound tapped away from him right to Boyer. Boyer for the Cadets with 5:52 on the clock, into the lane, rising for a jumper, left it short, and Mansky snatches the rebound. Quickly up to Larson, a bullet to Weber. Weber in the lane, turns for a jumper, and he drills it. Caden Weber, just those short jumpers in the lane, that is a good formula for Algona, and it's 23-15 Bulldogs. Boyer getting bumped by Ali, falling back. Ali knocks it away, and Mansky has it. It's one-on-one up the court. Mansky sidestepping, jump stopping, putting it up and in. Mansky got right to the basket, and Coach Collison wants a 30-second timeout for Iowa Falls-Alden as the Bulldogs have opened up their first 10-point lead of the evening, 25-15. Well, if that name sounds familiar to you, that is Coach Michael Collison for Iowa Falls-Alden. He's actually the brother of former NBA player Nick Collison. Of course, Nick Collison was an Iowa Falls-Alden great as he won state titles with the team back in 1998 and 1999 and became a McDonald's All-American in the 99 season. So Coach Michael Collison is his brother. But Nick Collison has his jersey number 44 retired by the by Iowa Falls-Alden, and he also has his jersey retired by the Oklahoma City Thunder. So he is actually the only native Iowan ever to have his NBA jersey retired by a team. So a lot of basketball connections in the Collison family, of course. And he's trying to coach the Iowa Falls-Alden Cadets, their 10th win of the season, right now 9-9. Bulldogs 10-7 coming into this evening. A lot of close losses as of late for Algona, but enjoyed a blowout win last night over St. Edmund, breaking up a 3-game losing streak. Weaver inside, missed it with the right hand. He wanted the fouls. He tried to hook it around Fike, but Fike had the good position, and now 5:07 on the clock. Fike trying to shake loose for a three, comes up top of the key to Ali. Ali left to Fike, into the corner, Helmers, catches, fires, drills a three-pointer. 13 points for Ben Helmers, 28-15 Algona. And a steal by Ali, gets it into the lane to Weber. Weber off the window, and he puts it in. 30-15 Bulldogs. Well, that is the last thing Coach Collison wanted. Coming out of the timeout, Bulldogs scoring the first 5 points following the timeout. And now we've got to travel. Cadets are all sort of out of sync right now. Regan was trying to use the pivot foot and take a long stride at the other foot, but he drug his back foot. He was kind of trapped along the far side of the court. Had to be mindful of that sideline just over to his left, a couple of inches away. And the Bulldogs really turning it up on defense, forcing some early turnovers in this game. And in the blink of an eye, they are doubling up the Cadets 30-15. Helmers, outside alley, catches, lets it rip for a three, but he airballed it short. And it's rebounded by Bickneys, and a foul by Algona on the rebound, trying to force a jump ball. Well, just moments ago, the Cadets had the lead back at the end of the first quarter. Bulldogs led 17-13 at the end of one, but the Cadets, they were up 13-12 at one point, and since that time, the Bulldogs have ripped off a solid 18-2 scoring run, encompassing 2 quarters of action. Right now, 4:22 on the clock here in the second. Bickneys striding into the front court with 4:17 on the clock. Flips it over to the right to Boyer. Onto the wing, Regan up top. It's Boyer again. Handing it off to Kay Kalehouse, who just checked in recently, number 10. Kalehouse bouncing it to Regan. Regan deals to Bickneys beyond the perimeter. Bickneys finds the elbow, drills a jumper. Cadets needed that one, and it's 30-17. Algona up by 13. Now Helmers slicing towards the lane, comes outside to Welp. Welp letting it fly for 3, missed it long, rebound tapped away, and that was last touched by Bickneys. Bickneys was in between two Bulldogs, got a hand on the rebound, but also had the misfortune of knocking it out of bounds, as Algona will keep it with 3:46 on the clock. Helmers with 13, Weber with 8 right now for Algona, as Weber catches the inbounds pass and flips it right to Welp. Welp down low to Helmers, knocked away, it rolls loose in the lane, and it's picked up by Boyer. So Cadet possession right now, it's Bickneys. Bickneys wanting to drive, right of the bucket, missed it at a wide angle. Offensive rebound though for Weaver. Kicks it in the corner, free ball Carlisle, and it's a little bit long and rebounded by Welp. Welp quickly up to Helmers. Helmers near the corner on the left side of the court. Underhands it to Welp, and the Bulldogs will run their half-court offense here. Welp looking to set it up as he passes it right to Fike. Back over to the left to Weber. Weber to Welp on the right wing, in the corner to Fike. Down to the baseline to Larson, finding the cutting Helmers. Helmers off the window, he got it and he got fouled. Helmers didn't even get a chance to square up to the basket that time. He had his side to the bucket, but somehow put it flush off the window, dropped it in for 2, and now has a chance to finish a 3-point play. Ben Helmers already with 15 points, as that is the second foul on Andrew Bickneys. Helmers is a 54% free throw shooter for the Bulldogs. And Algona's up 32-17, cruising here in this first half at home. And Helmers missed the foul shot, and the rebound is chased down by Kalos. And now it'll be Iowa Falls-Alden bringing it into the front court for Regan. Behind the back dribble, trying to shake loose of Welp, driving in, fighting it up, missed it. Welp had a hand all over that basketball. Now Welp outlets it, up to Weber. Weber off the window, and it drops in. And they might wave this one off. Ben Helmers was falling to try to tip it if it popped out. And they might say basket interference there on Ben Helmers. And yep, they're going to wave off that basket for Algona. And that's one where it looked like it was going to pop out of the rim, but if Helmers hadn't touched that one, that was going to drop in. It was sitting there for a second, but the momentum was taking it back into the bucket. But Helmers touched it while it was still inside of that circle. The ball has to be outside of the circle of the basket before you touch it. So Bulldogs will miss out on the bucket there, and of 2:38. Iowa Falls-Alden will have the basketball. It's Regan down into the corner to our right to Hutchinson. In the post, Weaver passes it outside of 2:28 on the clock, and a foul on Algona. That one will be on the drive. Foul number 6 against the Bulldogs of 2:27 on the clock, so one more and the Cadets will be in the bonus. Cadets have committed 14 fouls so far this afternoon. The sophomore Hutchinson gets it into the sophomore Weaver. Around the perimeter it goes, down into the near corner to Boyer. Boyer in the lane, it's Weaver. Weaver off the window, and he puts it in for 2. 32-19, first 2 points of the afternoon for Weaver, who averages about 7 this season for the Cadets. Welp spinning, Welp trying to get loose, and he traveled. They had the players crash down on Welp. He actually had Fike open in the far corner, and I think he was trying to find Fike there initially, but just could not get out of that double team as Mansky steals the inbounds pass, finds Weber in the lane, and Weber lays it in for 2, and he points at Mansky and says, great feed. 34-19, Caden Weber now with 8 points for Algona. Hutchinson passing it to Weaver. Weaver flipping it back to the left to Hutchinson. Down low, Regan behind the defense, and he got fouled. He got Weber to fly by, and then I believe it was Welp from behind coming in and committing the foul. And that will go against Welp, foul number 7 on Algona, but in the act of shooting, so Regan will shoot 2. Regan, a very good free throw shooter to go with his 3-point shooting. 83% from the charity stripe this season. Iowa Falls-Alden is a team. They're shooting about 64% from the foul line. As the first one is swished, that'll make it 34-20. Algona still up by 14. As Fike heads onto the bench, Tristan Larson comes in for Algona. Regan again, and there's another make. Make it 34-21 with 1:49 to go until halftime. Mansky over to the right to Welp. Welp up ahead to Weber. Weber trying to feed a cutting Larson along the baseline. Got knocked away, though, and the Cadets come up with a steal. Right idea, but Weber could not fit that pass into the window. In the corner, Hutchinson lets it fly for 3, left it short. Rebound is in the lane. It's peeled away from Weaver, and the Bulldogs had it. Weaver had 2 mitts on it, but the Bulldogs are able to knock it away. And now Helmer's coming the other direction, and a foul. A foul of 1:24 on the clock, and that'll go against Regan for Iowa Falls-Alden, their 5th.
Regan, his first 5th team foul.
Regan was contending that Helmers used the off arm that time, but clean play for Helmers. So Larson into Mansky. Now Larson in the corner down to our left. 1:22 to go until halftime. Welp has Weber now back up top to Welp. Around the perimeter, Larson. Pump fakes left, trying to move that zone. Now up top to Weber. Over to the right to Welp. 1:10 on the clock. Weber top of the key. Over onto the left to Larson. Lets it fly for a triple, and it rattles out of the drain, no good. Rebound is tipped right to Alex Mansky, though, and he falls it in for two. Bulldogs are really hurting the Cadets on the offensive glass so far this afternoon. Bulldogs with a big rebounding advantage, and now here comes Regan. 51 seconds to go. A floater is long, and it's rebounded by Larson. Up ahead to Weber. Weber on the push. Weber in the lane. Weber for the right hand, puts it in. 38-21 Algona. Double-digit points for Caden Weber as he has 10. Driving in, scooping it up, missing it is Boyer, and now a bump and an offensive foul. Alex Mansky was just kind of an innocent bystander in that situation, as he was run right into by Carter Weaver, going after the rebound, and his momentum just carried him right into the body of Mansky for foul number 6 against Iowa Falls-Alden.
16 foul.
Ben Helmers will get a breather. 15 points here in the first half for Helmers. Evan Alley into the ball game. Like you mentioned with Limbaugh earlier, Alley's gotten a lot more regular rotational minutes for Algona. The 5'10 freshman hanging out in the corner right now as the Bulldogs have it with 20 seconds left. They'll be content to burn some clock as the shot clock is off in this situation. Larson pump faking and coming up top to Welp. Now 12 seconds. Welp takes a couple dribbles to the right. 10 seconds, flipping it left to Larson with 8. Larson back up top to Welp. 6 seconds, left to Larson. He's on the wing, letting it fly for 3. Bounces off, no good as Hutchinson sails in for the rebound. Hutchinson, three-quarter court heave, and that is no good as it sends that cheerleader scattering at the buzzer, and that will bring it to halftime. 38-21, Algona rolling as they lead Iowa Falls-Alden right now here on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
More sports club members making these broadcasts possible on Hometown Home Country Radio.
Algona Livestock Sales. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic. Animals large and small, they love them all.
Signworks for all your signage needs as well as printed shirts, caps, and jackets. Stop in or call 295-9544.
Style Salon. Your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong. Keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
All proud sponsors of this broadcast.
With today's technology, there's no reason to wait by the mailbox for bank statements. Just sign up for internet banking and e-statements. This is Sherry at Security State Bank. E-statements reduce the risks of mail fraud and identity theft. Internet banking allows you to check your balances, see checks and deposits that have cleared, transfer funds between accounts, make payments, and say goodbye to paper filing and shredding. Internet banking and e-statements from Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
More sports club members making these broadcasts possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Reeb's Wicked Good Bar and Grill. For wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeb's.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
Dump it. They do the dirty work so you don't have to.
Albert Electric. Flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Greg Penny and Company CPA, certified public accountants, where everyone counts.
Yemlin Builders and Apartments, quality apartments for rent, beauty and craftsmanship that will never go out of style.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All sponsors of this broadcast.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
Algona creating their own energy on this Saturday afternoon as the Bulldogs have a 38-21 lead over the Iowa Falls-Alden Cadets here on Hometown Radio KLGA. Looking at the numbers from the first half, the scoring by quarters looked like this. Bulldogs jumped out to a 17-13 lead at the end of one. Algona had a 21-8 scoring advantage in the second quarter, as that leads to this 38-21 lead we currently see at halftime. Individually for Algona, it was Ben Helmers leading the way as he had 15 points. Caden Weber chipped in 10 as well. Alex Mansky, the third leading scorer of 6. On the Iowa Falls-Alden side of things, Nick Regan leads the way of 7. Kason Boyer has added 6 points and 4 points right now from Andrew Bickneys. But Bulldogs have done a good job on Bickneys so far this evening, as Bickneys is normally the leading scorer for the Cadets. But again, just 4 points in the first half. You will take that if you're Algona. And right now, the big thing that really stands out in half number one is the rebounding advantage by Algona. Bulldogs having a major advantage in second chance points, and it's clear Alex Mansky underneath is having a great game rebounding, and Jack Limbaugh, in the minutes that he's gotten, he has caused some problems rebounding as well for Iowa Falls-Alden. They just don't quite have the size and physicality to contend with a Mansky or a Limbaugh underneath, so the Bulldogs have done a nice job just crashing the boards and getting a lot of offensive rebounds so far this evening. And then just in transition, Bulldogs have been able to jump a lot of passes. They've run a lot of full court press tonight. They've been jumping passes up at the top near half court as well. And that has led to some easy steals and some easy transition buckets, which is something that Algona loves. That is their bread and butter. So the pace of the game right now is in Algona's favor. They're opening it up. They're flying up and down the court. And again, on a Saturday afternoon, you're out of your routine. It's not necessarily like a Friday night game where you have that day at school to unwind and then the huge Friday night crowd. But the Bulldogs have done a nice job today creating their own energy here at home. And it really all starts on the defensive and rebounding side of things. And that has opened up things for the offense. But a lot of things to like on offense as well. Caden Weber's hit a couple nice jumpers from the lane. And of course, Ben Helmers continues to baffle Iowa Falls-Alden with his athleticism, as he just finds a way to just create mid-range jump shots out of any which angle, as Helmers right now leads the way with 15 points. So a good first half for Algona. They will need to stay on the gas in the second half and really just keep up the great defensive effort right now for the Bulldogs. Not many easy buckets by the Cadets. They've hit a couple early three-pointers in the ball game, had 1 or 2 buckets right at the rim, but really besides that, not much coming easy for the Cadets on offense. So the Bulldog man-to-man defense working well in this ball game. About 4.5 minutes to go until the start of the second half. That's what the first half numbers look like here on Hometown Radio KLGA. We'll come back to Algona High School for the second half of basketball action. It's Algona and Iowa Falls-Alden on Hometown Radio KLGA.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these sports club members.
American Glass, for all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Jason Brace, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, where community connects.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
All proud sponsors of this broadcast.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Iowa did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
With over a decade of experience, Jake Ingalls Electric is here to handle any electrical job you could possibly have. From anything agricultural related to complex commercial wiring to something simple like installing a new outlet in your home, Jake Ingalls Electric does it all. Have your wiring done right and call Jake at 515-320-4286. Jake Ingalls Electric, shockingly good service.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
More sports club members making these broadcasts possible on Hometown Home Country Radio.
Algona Livestock Sales, sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce, 2 sauces for all seasons.
Farm and Home Services, view their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small, they love them all.
Signworks, for all your signage needs as well as printed shirts, caps, and jackets. Stop in or call 295-9544.
Style Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle, passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
All proud sponsors of this broadcast.
We are just about ready to get rolling with the second half of basketball action right here on Hometown Radio KLGA. It's the Algona Bulldogs and the Iowa Falls-Alden Cadets right now. Bulldogs with a 38-21 advantage at halftime. One of the more impressive defensive performances we've seen from the Bulldogs so far this season, as the Cadets struggled with just 8 second quarter points. And at one point early in this game, it was back and forth. Cadets led 13-12 at one point, but since that time, it has been all Algona in this one, and the Bulldogs look to continue to put the game away in the second half, as right now they are up by 17. Well, the rebounding factor has been a big one. Last time these two teams matched up, Algona had a 33-20 advantage in rebounding, and looks to be very similar so far this evening as the Bulldogs continue to get second chance points. Algona will have the basketball to start the second half. They will head from left to right on the radio dial. And both teams will have their regular starting 5 back out on the floor. And we are rolling in half number 2. Welp running point up top for Algona as he flips it over to the right to Weber. Cadets coming out in that zone defense, playing a lot of 2-3 against Algona, as ball is knocked out of bounds with 7:51 on the clock. And that's another big thing about this game that stands out. Bulldogs have had some big struggles against 2-3 zones at times this season. Garner, Hayfield, Ventura had a lot of success throwing a 2-3 zone at Algona. Humboldt even as well in the first match between Algona and Humboldt really stifled Algona for 2-3 zone defense, but so far they've been able to shred the zone. Algona 38 first half points, well above their season pace, as Mansky hangs from inside the foul line, missed it, and Weaver boxes out for the rebound. So first possession of the second half for the Cadets. Boyer flipping it over to the right, on the wing Weaver, pump fakes on the 3, Mansky stays close, back to the left Boyer, has a good look from 3, shot it a little long, rebound tips all the way out, and it's an offense board, Bickney's. Bickney's floats from the lane, missed it, his follow misses right, his tip misses, rebound by Weaver, he misses, and 4 opportunities go by the wayside for the Cadets. Now here comes Welp. Welp dribbles it off his leg, it's out of bounds, and it will go back to Iowa Falls-Alden. Welp tried a behind the back dribble there, but hit that one off, looked like the heel of his left foot. And the Cadets get the ball back with 7:09 on the clock. Quick moving first half. Really didn't see either team use a whole lot of timeouts. I believe just 1 timeout the whole first half. Not a ton of free throw shooting so far either, as the game moved quickly in half number 1. 1 minute into half number 2. Regan opens up for a 3 and he drills it. 10 points by Regan so far. That'll make it 38-24. Algona still on top right now, 6:46 on the clock. As Welp has it up top, flipping it onto the left wing to Weber. Now Welp into the near corner to Fike. Bouncing it down to the baseline, Mansky wraps it around to Weber. Open for 3, lets it fly, and finds the bottom of the net. 41-24 Algona, and Weber connects on the 3-pointer. He now has 13 points, and Algona's up 41-24. A lot of Weber's points have been short jumpers from the lane, but knocking one down from range as Weaver skipping inside, getting to the bucket and drawing the foul. Nice move by Carter Weaver, the sophomore that time, as he got by the Bulldog defense, just kind of sidestepping through the lane, got right to the rack, and will have to earn it the old school way at the charity stripe. Weaver about a 59.5% free throw shooter, averaging 7 points a game for Iowa Falls-Alden as he drills that foul shot. And Weaver now has 3 this afternoon. 41-25 Algona with 6:18 on the clock. Last matchup between these two teams, the leading scorers for Iowa Falls-Alden were Kason Boyer with 15 and Andrew Bickneys with 15, as Bickneys also had 10 rebounds. But so far today, Bickneys has been quiet. Boyer, 6 points. A spin by Weber in the lane, rising for the jumper, missed it. It's tapped away out of bounds, and it's off the hands of Iowa Falls-Alden as Bickneys couldn't secure it. And it has been that kind of afternoon rebounding for the Cadets. Not the first time we've seen them get in position to get the rebound, but then just kind of fumble it away out of bounds. So Bulldogs get an extra possession out of this with 6:06 on the clock. Weber lobbing it into Mansky in the high post. Over to the right to Welp. Looking inside, now flipping it left to Weber. Weber working the baseline, gets turned back out by Weaver. A three-point shot on the way, Mansky, and he missed it. Actually, that was Hutchinson turning Weber back out. Now an outlet the other way. Regan behind the defense, and he scoops it up and in. 12 points right now by Nick Regan. And it's 41-28. Cadets trying to slowly cut into the Algona lead. Fike on the near side. He'll launch for 3, and he'll swish it. Simon Fike missed a few three-pointers early in this ball game as a 30-second timeout is called by Algona, but he drilled that one, 44-28. Fike took 3 quick three-pointers in the first quarter, almost all right back-to-back. Just right off the bat, he went 0 for 3, but got back in rhythm here to start the second half. That's his first bucket of the afternoon. And Bulldogs are up 44-28. Bulldogs, like we said earlier, they've lost 3 of the last 4 to Iowa Falls-Alden and let a really close game get away back on January 27th, 67-64. Cadets got up by that score for about a minute and a half left in the game, and they held the Bulldogs off the scoreboard for the final 90 seconds or so in that one to pick up the win. But Bulldogs here up 44-28 in the third. Coach Michael Collison for Iowa Falls-Alden was really impressed with his team's defensive effort last time around against Algona. He made a good point. He said holding Algona to 64 is like holding another team in the 50s just because of how quickly Algona plays and how many extra possessions there are when you play Algona. As Weaver sets up for a 3, it bounces twice on the rim and pops out as Weber snatches down the rebound. And now Welp flipping it left to Fike. Fike fakes the 3, drives in, now bounces it back out to Weber. Up top, Welp running point for Algona. As Fike has it far side of the court. Down to the baseline, Mansky. Mansky all the way across to Weber. Catches, fires, left the 3 short. Helmers tips the rebound, it goes right to Mansky. Mansky follows it up and in. 46-28 Algona. Boy, 2 Bulldogs in great position. Only 1 Iowa Falls-Alden cadet player in the area, and Helmers just knew to tip it right to Mansky, wide open for the lay-in. Alex Mansky now with 8 points. Helmers almost jumped a pass on the other end. Bickneys left of the lane. Bickneys lost a handle on it. It's out of bounds, back to Algona. Bulldogs are not letting Iowa Falls-Alden have anything underneath the basket. They've done a good job of protecting the rim this evening. They're forcing the cadet drivers to take it in at a wide angle, and Bickneys just lost the handle on that. Welp across the timeline, threw it up to Weber and hit off his chest, and there's a turnover. Now losing it is Hutchinson, picking it back up, and he got fouled by Welp. Welp didn't like that call, but Hutchinson will head to the free throw line for 2 shots. The sophomore Calvin Hutchinson averages about 8 points a game for Iowa Falls-Alden. 57.5% for the foul line, as that is foul number 2 on Welp. 46-28 Bulldogs, 4:29 on the clock. Quarter number 3 is Tristan Larson. Gets set to check in after this free throw for Algona. And Hutchinson swishes the foul shot. That's his first point of the afternoon. Make it 46-29 right now as Larson will replace Fike. Iowa Falls-Alden right now missing the second foul shot as Hutchinson couldn't connect, and the Bulldogs grab the rebound. Welp flips it up to Larson. Larson starting to drive, steps back, holding the ball and sidearms it over to Weber. Rotation to Mansky. Mansky slicing in. Mansky threw it to Helmers. It got tipped, but it went right into Helmers' hands. Now up top to Welp. Flipping it right onto the wing to Larson. Now bouncing it back up top to Welp. Around the way it goes to Weber. Now reverses it to Welp. Larson has it, pumps inside, flips to Mansky. Mansky inside, Mansky takes one dribble, pump fakes, puts it up. He drew the foul and he put it in. Alex Mansky makes it 48-29. Boy, Mansky was so patient, calm and composed right under the basket that time. Got a man to jump by him, pumped a couple more times after that, drew the foul, put it in, and just had great inside position that time. He was in between his defender and the basket, and Mansky now have 10 points. He'll have a chance to finish a three-point play. Weaver heads to the bench. Carter Debates comes in for Iowa Falls-Alden. He'll take a spot next to Weber down at the bottom there. Mansky's foul shot is up and it is in. Three-point play complete for the sophomore. 49-29 Algona, extending their lead up to 20 points as Weber takes a seat on the bench. And Jack Limbaugh comes in for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs got some good minutes out of this lineup earlier in the game. They didn't stick with it for a long time, but definitely for the rebounding advantage right now as Debates has it. Finds Hutchinson on the perimeter, launches the three, missed it short, but he chases down his own miss on the long deflection. Hutchinson on the wing, holds it over his head and passes it left to Bickneys. Guarded by Welp with 3:40 on the clock. Bickneys backing in, turning to the bucket, rising for a jumper and sticking it. Nice shot, Andrew Bickneys, and that'll make it 49-31. Bulldogs on top right now by 18 with 3.5 minutes left in the quarter. Welp has it up top, surveying the defense, flipping it left to Larson. Pump fakes once, pivots away from trouble, now wants to drive. Backing it into the corner and flipping it back up top to Welp. Halmers has it right now on the near side. He'll bring it back near the Bulldog logo up top, over to the left. Welp has it, 7 on the shot clock, down to the baseline, it goes to Limbaugh. Limbaugh dumps to a cutting Mansky. It's off of Mansky's hands and out of bounds. That was a nice feed by Limbaugh and a nice cut by Mansky, but Mansky just could not secure that ball. Bulldogs would have had a pretty good look for a 2 there if Mansky had caught that one clean, but instead it'll be a turnover. 2:55 on the clock, quarter number 3. Algona up by 18 over Iowa Falls-Alden. It's handed off here, Boyer. Boyer right of the lane. Boyer rises for a jumper, and he sticks that. Cadets have had some nice-looking mid-range shots the last couple of possessions, and Boyer makes it 49-33. You can live with that shot if you're Algona. You don't want Iowa Falls-Alden getting hot on three-point balls, and you don't want them getting it to the bucket, but last couple minutes here, they've had a few good-looking mid-range jumpers, including that last one from Boyer, who now has 8 points. 2:20 on the clock. Helmer's up top to Welp. Welp to the foul line, now down to Limbaugh. Limbaugh behind the defense, missed it. Mansky's follow. He ran into Limbaugh and crashed to the ground, and Debates has the rebound. Helmer's knocked it away, and that one went off the hands of Boyer out of bounds. Well, Bulldogs just continue to swarm the Cadets, not letting them freely take out the court as Limbaugh checks out. Weber checks in, and that was a nice play by Helmers just to knock it off of Boyer and get another possession for the Bulldogs. Larson to trigger the inbounds play, pumping, lobbing it to Mansky in the paint. Mansky gets it out to a right angle 3 by Helmers. He left it short, knocked away, and picked up by Bickneys for the Cadets. 2:03 to go, quarter number 3. Bickneys far side of the court. 1:57 on the clock as Bickneys has it near the Bulldog logo. Down to Debates at the foul line, guarded by Mansky. Back to Bickneys on the block. Bickneys against Weber, has him marooned deep, and he hits it off the side of the backboard. Good defense by Weber, forced Bickneys to get way too far underneath the basket to get a good-looking shot. Now Welp has his baseline far side of the court. Shovels it to Weber. Weber for 3, left it short. Rebound is spiked down into the lane, and Helmers out-hustles everyone for it. Great play by the sophomore. Helmers in the paint. And he tried to pass it out to Weber, but he got fouled. That'll be foul number 2 against Iowa Falls-Alden as Hutchinson picks that one up, his first. And Bulldogs will have an inbounds play from the baseline. 1:29 on the clock, quarter number 3. Larson lobbing it into Helmers, catches in the lane, back to the bucket. Ball gets poked away, but a foul. Bickneys reached in on Helmers, and that'll be foul number 3 on Bickneys. Well, he was trying to play physical with Helmers. He knows Helmers can spin any which way. I was trying to get it away from him before he could hit that spin move, but got called for the foul, the 3rd on Iowa Falls-Alden as a team. Larson lobbing it into Mansky at the foul line. Now Weber. Weber onto the wing to Welp. Now down low to Mansky, and a foul. An offensive foul against Tristan Larson for Algona. Larson is incredulous. He didn't like that one, but They'll call it on him trying to get position inside. That was not on Mansky. If you're watching on the video stream here on the AHS broadcasting channel, you saw Mansky with the ball down low, and you just saw Larson fall to the ground right behind him. But Larson will get called for the foul there. That'll be his first. 1:21 on the clock. Cadets have the basketball. It'll be Boyer bringing it into the front court. The 5'10 senior Boyer flips it over to the left to Regan. Now it's Bickneys. Down into the post to Boyer. Boyer against Larson. Fades back for a jumper. Left it short. That was a tough shot. And a foul on the rebound. And that is going to go against Bickneys. That'll be his fourth.
Personal foul.
As Mansky had the inside position there on the box out.
His fourth.
And this is a tough spot for the Cadets.
Team foul.
They have to make a big run here at some point to try to get back into it, but Bickneys is really central to that, and he'll take a seat here of 4 fouls. Carter Weaver returns to the ball game. Weaver will play in the middle spot at the bottom of that 2-3 zone defense for Iowa Falls-Alden. Regan and Hutchinson playing up top on the zone. Larson has it in front of the Algona bench. 56 seconds on the clock, 49-33 Algona. Larson again. Has the ball back, crosses the court, and the pass is jumped. Debates jumped in front of Weber and takes it. Cadets will run. Debates fumbles with it, and there's a travel. Debates was trying to stop on the dime and throw the pass. Saw no one was open and tried to pull the ball back into him, but fumbled with it a little bit and fumbled with his footwork as well as he turns it over. 44 seconds to go, quarter number 3. We've been stuck at 49-33 here for the past couple of minutes. Welp up top, comes right to Larson. Pump fakes inside. Holding the ball, lobbing it to Mansky. Mansky goes over the top, but Debates kind of boxed him out and took the ball away. Now Halmer's trying to rip at it, and he forces a jump ball. Debates passed it to Weaver, and Halmer's opportunistically reached in, and the possession arrow is towards Iowa Falls-Alden, but that'll flip it back to Algona for the next time. 28 seconds on the game clock. Shot clock is off, end of the third quarter. Weaver will inbound from the baseline against the Bulldog full court defense. Gets it into Regan. And Regan will bring it up the middle of the court. Angles towards the far side, now comes back to the near side, finding Boyer. Boyer underhands the ball and gets to Hutchinson, now back to Boyer. 16 on the game clock, Debates, bounces it to Weaver. Weaver into the corner, letting it fly for 3 is Hutchinson. It rattles out, no good. And a foul on the rebound will go against the Cadets. And Larson comes up a little limp for Algona. And he'll be replaced by Simon Fike here. Yeah, Larson may have just landed awkwardly there after that rebound, as he'll head over to the bench for Algona and try to walk that off. 9.3 seconds to go in the third quarter. 5 team fouls right now at Iowa Falls-Alden. 3 on Algona in the second half. And Bulldogs almost threw that one away. Welp collects it, passes left to Fike. 6 seconds, Fike squares up for 3. Left it a little short. Mansky tries to get the offensive rebound. It taps out to Welp. Welp got it off before the horn, and it swirls out no good on the 3-point attempt. Bulldogs got a fortuitous bounce there. Almost opened up a 3-pointer by Landon Welp, but they will settle for a 49-33 advantage at the end of the third quarter. We'll take a timeout, come back with fourth quarter action next on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
More Sports Club members making these broadcasts possible on Hometown Home Country Radio.
Kasuth Regional Health Center. Make KRHC your home for healthcare.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country. Highway 18 West.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush always beats a full house.
Runkey Brothers Full Service. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all of your auto service and repair needs.
Erpelding and Boyd CPAs. They're not just about taxes.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprise. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
Hy-Vee. Use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
All Sports Club members bringing you this broadcast.
Final 8 minutes of basketball action here on this Saturday afternoon. It's Algona 49 and Iowa Falls-Alden 33. The Cadets actually had a 12-11 scoring advantage in the third quarter, but they'll need a huge run in the fourth to try to topple the Bulldogs and sweep the season series. Fike throwing it down towards the baseline, got knocked out of bounds. The Bulldogs will keep it with 7:52 on the clock. Fike, Mansky, Welp, Weber, and Helmers right now for Algona. Iowa Falls-Alden has brought Bickneys back into the ballgame, playing with his 4 fouls, but the Cadets know they need to go on a run very, very soon, and they need Bickneys in the game to be able to go on a run. Fike has it on the perimeter on the left wing, and a foul. That'll be foul number 6 against the Cadets, as they will get that one on Hutchinson. That one happening away from the action, so Bulldogs will inbound for the far side of the court. We're keeping an eye on Bickneys. He's at the bottom of the 2-3 zone, far side of the court. And the Cadets will try to keep him clean of foul trouble for the final 8 minutes of this one and see if they can make a rally in this game. Fike on the left wing. Now the Helmers on the near side. Helmers starts dribbling, flips it left to Fike, goes around the perimeter to Welp. Bulldogs are a little bit stuck on offense right now, as it's up top to Fike, back to the left to Welp, down to the baseline Mansky, 10 on the shot clock, now to the right to Fike, catches, sidesteps, got a man to jump, launches the 3, drills the 3-pointer. He faked Hutchinson out of his shoes that time, sidestepped into a triple, and makes it 52-33 Algona. That is the second 3 of the game by Fike, and he has 6 points. On the other end, it's Weaver. Weaver will draw the foul on the drive. That'll be foul number 4 against Algona in this half. And the first on Caden Weber. Coming 1 minute into the fourth quarter as Evan Alley will check into the ball game. The freshman Alley will replace Ben Helmers. And I'll tell you what, Iowa Falls-Alden, they've done a good job on Ben Helmers in the second half. Helmers had 15 points in the first half, 0 so far here in half number 2. Bulldogs have found other ways to score, but they've taken Helmers out a little bit here as a jumper is drained by Hutchinson. That'll make it 52-35. Right now, 11 points by Alex Mansky, 13 by Caden Weber for Algona. Hutchinson with 3 points for Iowa Falls-Alden. Their leading scorer is Kason Boyer of 12. Top of the key, Welp flipping it left to Fike. Now down to Mansky. Mansky in the lane to Weber. Weber puts it up, but he puts it in. Give Caden Weber 15 points. That is a great find by Mansky, a bullet. Nice job by Weber to secure it with soft hands. 1.5 minutes gone in the fourth quarter. Mansky almost jumped the pass up top as Weaver heads to the right, gives the ball to Boyer. Now Mansky has Boyer on the perimeter. Knocked away from Regan, chasing it down in the backcourt. Alley trying to get it away from him, and Regan keeps it out of trouble. To the left to Bickneys. Squares up for a 3-pointer, missed it right, and skying for the rebound is Weber. Weber into the front court. Weber on the push. Weber pump fakes, goes up, and he bangs it off the glass for 2 more points. 17 points by Caden Weber, and he is having a nice back-to-back outing. 27 last night against St. Edmund, 17 so far tonight, and a 56-35 lead for Algona with 5:48 left. And now Mansky peels the basketball away. He stole it from Hutchinson. Mansky charging up the court. Bounces it onto the block to Weber. Weber puts it up, and he puts it in. Tough angle by Caden Weber, and Weber is cooking here in the fourth quarter. 58-35 Algona. Bickneys lobs it up the court to Boyer. Got Alley to jump. Boyer puts it off the window and puts it in. Boyer got right to the bucket, almost got Alley to jump right over his head, and laid it in for the 2. Actually, make that Hutchinson, I beg your pardon, on the last bucket. That was Hutchinson of his 5th point. Alley on the right wing, up to the top to Welp. Now Fike has it. Fike down to the baseline, Mansky. 5:07 on the clock. Top of the key, Alley now to the right to Welp. Baseline, Weber. Weber looking to reverse, puts it up, and he puts it in. Weber was right underneath the hoop that time, reached his right hand out as far as it could go and just shot it over his head for 2. 20 points by Caden Weber, as there's a quick 2 on the other end by the Cadets. 6 points right now for Carter Weaver as he puts the 2 in. And an offensive foul by Algona. 60-39 Bulldogs. They'll pick up their 5th foul of the half. And that one will go against Simon Fike.
Foul called on Simon Fike. His 3rd.
Caden Weber giving Algona all kinds of energy for the Bulldogs. We talk about him as the spark plug all the time on defense. Well, offensively, he's bringing all kinds of energy in this game. He's the leading scorer right now at either side of 21 points. Bickneys up top. Weber almost jumped the pass on defense. Boyer left angle 3-pointer, and he drills it. That'll make it an 18-point game, 50-40, make that 60-42 Algona as Boyer knocks down the shot. He has 11 points. Regan with 12 for Iowa Falls-Alden. Boyer with 11. Fike on the left wing, bounces to Mansky in the post. Back to the bucket now, back out to Fike. Releases a 3-pointer, and he rattles it in. Simon Fike's been hitting those in the second half. His third three-pointer of a half. He has 9 points, and Algona has a 63-42 advantage. Halfway through the fourth quarter, Bickney's splitting into the lane, missing the left-hander, and Fike grabs the rebound. Fike outlets to Alley. Alley charging into the lane, getting space, putting it off the window, and putting it in for two. 65-42, physical move by Alley, lowering the shoulder and getting the deuce. 3:42 left in this one. Bulldogs pulling away, and an offensive foul on the Cadets. With 3:40 left, the Cadets will turn it over on the offensive foul, and that is on Bickney's, and he is done. Foul number 5 on Bickney's as he ends the game of 6 points. Used the off arm that time, and Coach Collison is having a spirited discussion with the official, trying to find out what the call was on Bickney's. So he is done for the evening with 3:40 left, and the Bulldogs in control right now, up 65-42. Devin Larson into the ball game for Algona. Helmers as well as he finds Weber. Weber dribbles right around the perimeter and flips it right to Larson. Devin Larson gets it back from Weber. Now to Alley on the right wing. Alley across court to Weber. Catches, fires, left the three-pointer short. Mansky reaches out for the offensive rebound, throws it to Alley as he was falling down. Alley cutting to the bucket, shot got blocked, and it's picked up on the rebound by Weaver. 3:10 left. Weaver into the lane. Weaver will draw the blocking foul from Devin Larson. Weaver did not look like he had a great handle on the basketball that time, kind of had it on his right hip pocket, but Larson will get called for the blocking foul, and Weaver will set up to shoot 2.
Personal foul called on Devin Larson.
6 points so far this evening from Weaver. That'll be foul number 6 against Algona with 3:07 left and a 65-42 Bulldog advantage. And that first one missing, no good. Like we said, Bulldogs have really been able to control the pace of this game, really been able to control the boards as well. As Limbaugh checks in, Mansky checking out. Carlos Gomez also coming in for Algona right now. So Bulldogs will go a little deeper into the bench as the free throw is up, and it is good. 7 points right now by Weaver, and a 65-43 Algona lead in this one. Now Alley driving down the lane, hanging, putting it up and putting it in. Evan Alley with an aggressive drive into the lane makes it 67-43. He's giving Algona some energy off the bench. And now whistling to foul. Looks like we'll get an offensive foul here against Iowa Falls-Alden. And that was drawn by Alley against Hutchinson. You can see him in the video if you're watching here on the AHS YouTube as Alley kind of pointed towards the referee and said, that was an offensive foul, right? And it sure was, as Bulldogs will get it back with 2:55 left. Alley from the baseline with 2:55 on the clock, looking and getting into Weber. Weber back to the bucket. Weber rising for a jumper. It rolls off, no good. And Weaver rips down the rebound. Here comes Weaver into the front court. Limbaugh picks him up on defense with 2:44 left. It's Boyer into the corner to Weaver. A three-pointer from a tough angle misses, and Limbaugh chases down the rebound. Now Limbaugh dumps it to Alley right underneath the bucket, puts it up and puts it in. 6 points from the freshman, 69-43 Bulldogs. And Cadets will get ready to empty the bench at the next stoppage. Down to Hutchinson. Hutchinson back outside of 2:23 on the clock. Now foul line to Weaver. Weaver into the corner to Hutchinson, and a blocking foul against Jack Limbaugh, and a 1-and-1 on the way for the Cadets. It'll be Weaver shooting 1-and-1 here, as that'll be foul number 7 against the Bulldogs. But Algona on their way to win number 11 on the season and trying for win number 5 in the North Central Conference, as the Cadets will empty out the bench. Carter Debates coming back into the game, number 50. They also have number 40, sophomore Nathan Roski. Number 4, Raymond Morales into the ball game, and number 52, Jacob Schipper. And the free throw is up, and it is good. Bulldogs have responded with some subs of their own, as Brad Mullins has entered the ball game. Reed Lawaji for the Bulldogs as well. So right now, for Algona, you have Limbaugh, Lawaji, Ali, Gomez, and Mullins. And now Weaver will check out of the ball game. He will finish with 9 points this evening for the Cadets. And a 69-45 Algona advantage with 2:19 left. Well, Bulldogs taking care of business this afternoon. They'll be on the road Tuesday night against Clarion Goldfield Dows for the next conference game. Seems like Bulldogs have played so many heart-pounding games lately. A much more relaxed fourth quarter these past 2 nights. Last night against St. Edmund and tonight against the Iowa Falls-Alden Cadets. Mullins down to the baseline to Limbaugh. 2 minutes left. Limbaugh getting space inside and putting it in. 71-45 Algona. But back-to-back really good offensive nights by the Bulldogs. Maybe not the 90 they dropped on St. Edmund last night, but 71 against a pretty good defensive team is a solid night for Algona. Left angle three misses as Debates can't knock it down. Up the court, Mullins for Algona. Mullins drifting back into the near corner, and he'll head left around the perimeter. Gets it up top to Ali. Ali to the left to Gomez. 1.5 minutes to go in this one. And a bounce pass up top to Ali. Over to the right, Mullins. Now Ali has just at the edge of the Bulldog logo. Back to the right to Mullins. To left to Ali, rotates to Gomez. 10 on the shot clock for Algona. 1:17 left on the game clock. And the pass is jumped. Cadets come up with a steal with 1:13 left, going to the bucket, and the shot is missed. Debates sails in for the rebound. Debates' follow misses. He got his own miss. He goes back up a bit, bangs it off the glass, and misses again. And the rebound comes out to Mullins, and then Debates steals it from Mullins. And then a foul on Mullins with 1 minute left. Boy, Carter Debates continues to hustle here in the final minute of this ball game, just staying right after it, and he'll be rewarded with a 1-and-1 here. A 6-foot sophomore with 2 points so far this evening. And he will shoot 1-and-1. Bulldogs will have 3 games left in the North Central Conference after tonight. As that foul shot is drained to make it 71-46. Algona will have 1 game each with Hampton, Dumont, Cal, Clarion, Goldfield, Dow's, and Webster City. And second free throw rattles out of the cup, no good. Limbaugh boxes out for the rebound with less than 1 minute to go in the ball game. Mullins in the near corner down to our right. 71-46 Algona as they have just continued to pull away throughout. And an all-around victory coming up here this afternoon. Mullins top of the key, passing left to Ali. Eyes the bucket. Slowly driving in, picks up his dribble. Had it knocked away, and here come the Cadets. Morales with the steal, and then Ali stole it right back in transition. 35 seconds left. Ali crossing over. Ali in the lane, dumps it down to Limbaugh. Limbaugh puts it up. And he draws the foul with 29 seconds left to go in this ball game. Jack Limbaugh trying to add on to his 4 points he has so far this evening with 29 seconds left. The Bulldogs are going to go to 11-7 here. They'll likely find out their postseason pairing very soon as Limbaugh misses off the back of the cup, no good. Remember last year, Bulldogs only had 8 wins the whole season. They never won more than 2 games in a row last year, so they've made some big improvements this year, and we'll see how things line up once the postseason pairings come out for Algona as Limbaugh sets it up. And he'll rattle that one in for a split of the pair. 72-46 Bulldogs. Limbaugh with 5 points. Ball is knocked away, and here comes Ali. With 20 seconds left, Ali striding to the bucket. He put it in, and he got fouled. Evan Ali continues to bring the energy off the bench from Algona. He now has 8 points, and he'll try to finish a 3-point play. Well, we haven't seen a ton of action from Ali yet in the varsity games. Again, has not played a ton of minutes throughout most of the season, but he has worked his way into the rotation, and the Bulldogs may have found something in this freshman. He is bringing a ton of energy this evening as he drains the foul shot. 9 points by Ali, 75-46 Algona. And the Cadets will have 1 more possession here, 13 seconds left. Far side of the court, Jacob Schipper has it. He'll find Nathan Roski at the foul line. Ball is knocked away. Balaji almost had the steal. 4 seconds left, 3 seconds. And then the pass is jumped by Ali, and that'll bring an end to the game. 75-46 as Algona rolls away in the second half of this one, and they have a dominant home victory. Algona now 11-7 on the season. They improve to 5-6 in North Central play. Iowa Falls-Alden drops to 9-10, 7-5 in the conference. So Algona will split the season series with the Cadets, and they will break up a stretch of losing 3 of the last 4 to Iowa Falls-Alden. So good win from Algona this afternoon. We'll take one final quick timeout and look at the scoring numbers coming up next on Hometown Radio KLGA.
With today's technology, there's no reason to wait by the mailbox for bank statements. Just sign up for internet banking and e-statements. This is Sherry at Security State Bank. E-statements reduce the risks of mail fraud and identity theft. Internet banking allows you to check your balances, see checks and deposits that have cleared, transfer funds between accounts, make payments, and say goodbye to paper filing and shredding. Internet banking and e-statements from Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Livonia.